This is exactly what you get when you sit there and use lawfare against somebody, and then your closet gets open and you're actually doing the one thing that you're accusing this man of doing. This is what karma looks like, kings and queens. This is what it looks like right here. Now, let's go back to this post from April 16th when Letitia James was referred to the DOJ for multiple felonies and criminal prosecution. My, how the mighty have fallen. You know, she ran a whole campaign to get in her position going after Donald Trump. And of course, she denies this, but we all know that that is simply not the case. She's somebody who vehemently Trump this, Trump that, and we're going to lock him up. And that's how she got in a seat. Now, Sassa, I believe, Frass also added, the whole nobody is above the law is coming to bite her back in the buttocks for sure. Donald Trump actually made a comment on her as well. We're going to dive into that in a second, but it's really no way to put this other than we're just going to have to deal with some yelling real quick.
And you want me to sit in my seat and stand idly by?
Yes. Yes. We do. But, you know, stand up and then sit back down, stand up, sit back down, do it in a couple set. Anywho.
And allow this craziness to happen? You can come after me if you want, but you elected me to stand up. You elected me to use the law. You elected me to go to court. You elected me to continue to challenge this administration. You elected me to stand up for the least of God's children. You elected me to continue fighting on, and I will fight on. And
No, they elected you to go after Donald Trump. That's why you got Al Sharpton back in the back looking like, you know, one of those little, I don't even know what them things called at the arcade. You got to hit the little bobbleheads or whatever thingy. He just, hey, but take his advice. He stood up, you know what I mean? That right there, you know, I help you. Now, again, of course, she denies that she campaigned on the whole idea of going after Donald Trump, but we all know that's not true. Excuse me. Doja asks, Letitia James lawsuit ignores the $165 billion in taxpayer savings from slash and bloated HHS contracts like the $2.9 billion refugee resettlement deal and $1.9 billion Centennial Technologies grab. The Doge initiative exposed how 85,000 bureaucrats funnel cash into failed programs instead of actual care. Wow, this is getting even deeper. While New York Attorney General grandstands her own ethics scandals like alleged mortgage fraud show where accountability's really needed. Real reform prioritizes efficiency over bureaucracy empires. When do we get her filing frivolous lawsuits? She's going to continue to do this. However, first, I want y'all to see my guy Donald Trump's response to this real quick. Of course, Trump calls NY Attorney General Letitia James a total crook and says the DOJ will do what's right on fraud criminal referral. My fault, y'all. I'm trying to multitask over here, fumbling words and everything in between. I got you, though.
I can say unrelated to that, she's a disaster for New York. She's a horrible, horrible human being. And I think she's a total crook. There's no question about it. But that's just my opinion. Pam's going to have to do what she wants.
We agree. But Pam going to have to do what she wants.
She's a very bad person. She's a very, very bad person who campaigned solely on, I'm going to get Donald Trump over and over again. She's a sick person. But that has nothing to do with what Pam does. Pam is going to do what's right. She always does. I've known her a long time.
Yeah, that's exactly what she did, Letitia James. That is, she campaigned on that very, 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 very strong. And I'm going to show y'all that in just a second. I want to see if there's anything else in this article that we need to check out. Here's a quote from Attorney Pam Bondi. Attorney General James, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Okay, cool. AG. Wow. Quote from her. AG James is focused every single day on protecting New Yorkers and upholding the law. No personal attacks, no matter who they come from, the spoke said. The elected Democrat last Friday won a $364 million judgment after accusing Trump's of inflating the value of his assets, including secure more favorable loan terms. As part of the judgment, Trump's sons, Eric and Donald Jr., were ordered to pay $4 million each. Wow. As of last month, the size of penalties topped $500 million due to accrual of interest as Trump appeals. The allegations against James also stem from details of financial documents. Paletti's criminal referral addressed to Bondi cites media reports about multiple instances in which James allegedly falsified bank documents and property records to acquire government-backed assistance and loans in more favorable loan terms. Yeah, man, we're starting to see the FAFO circle back around this thing. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying now. Letitia James falsified records to meet lending requirements, even put an application that she was married to her father. What's up with these Democrats and incest? You know, ill, huh?
Representing our respective states.
No. I want them to be able to hear you now.
Representing our respective states. Stand up and enforce the rule of law. The president of these United States is not above the law.
Oh, my gosh. The point of this is just to show you that this whole not above the law thing is played. I mean, it is played out.
No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules.
Please sue him for us.
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the
And now the Trump Justice Department may be a pain in her you-know-what. The Angle has obtained shocking allegations leveled by the Trump administration against New York Attorney General Letitia James. The Federal Housing Finance Agency has sent a criminal referral to the DOJ accusing James of mortgage fraud. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Director Bill Pulte says James appears to have falsified...
Oh, Pulte. I've been saying Paletti. Cue the comments.
...records in order to meet certain lending requirements and receive favorable loan terms. He cited a property in Virginia that she's allegedly claimed as her principal residence and a property in New York that she claimed as a 4-unit structure instead of the required, instead of a 5, which Pulte says means she was able to get a different type.
Hey, if you just a homeowner and you out here leasing your cribs and all, that's one thing, you know. But if you out here saying you're leasing cribs, saying you live at these cribs, but you're leasing them, that's something totally different. So you've seen the clip within this whole montage where she was in there and she said we're going to go after Donald Trump and we're going to get him and stuff like that. But the overall reoccurring theme was no one's above the law. And we're here to tell you today, Letitia James, no one is above the law, including you. And I'm just tired of her on this Martin Luther King rant she be on. Just, oh, we're gonna go. You elected me to. We elected you to. Well, they elected you to do your job properly, not to sit here and be frivolous with it and make lawfare actions. Obviously, this right here was posted around the time of the announcement of her being looked into for her criminal activities. But the Democrats seem to project crimes onto Republicans that they themselves have committed. Perhaps the only reason they have these ideas to go after Trump is because they themselves have committed the crimes. So they have knowledge of it. My fault. I almost fumbled right there. Now, what do we have here? Breaking. Well, we already knew this. This was posted March of last month, though. What new updates are we finna get from it?
Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, is guilty of mortgage fraud, folks. The same kind of stuff that she tried to steal $400 million plus from Donald Trump for the same kind of claims, mortgage fraud, misrepresenting your property values. Well, how about this? In 2001, Letitia James purchased a 5-unit multifamily apartment complex for $550,000. In 2005, she refinanced that loan from a company called Aegis, which gave her a low of 7.2 mortgage rate interest that would continue to blow up to a ceiling of 10.2 over time. In 2011, she then took advantage of a federal program called HAMP, which is Home Adjustable Modification Program. Now, what that did under that program is it capped the amount of family units in a building to 4, meaning if you had 4 or less, you could be eligible for this program. And under this program, it means that your loan would not balloon up to the maximum of 10.2%. She then listed multiple times over the last 2 decades, as she's refinanced this place over and over and over again, that the apartment complex had 4 units. That ended up saving her over time, tens of, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So in the original 2001 purchase, it was a 5-unit complex. In 2005, when she did a remortgage on that and a refinance on that, she labeled it as a 4-unit. In 2011, when she went under the federal program, the HAMP program, she labeled it as a 4-unit. She's done it multiple times so she could get the lowest amount of interest possible. The unit today still stands at 5 units. She should have ballooned up to the maximum 10.2%, but she literally frauded and took advantage of a federal program and lied, saying that it's only a 4-unit program so she could save tens of, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest over these last 2.5 decades. So, ladies and gentlemen, there it is right there. Letitia James, you are guilty of mortgage fraud. We have the documents. We have the receipts to prove it. If you follow me on my newsletter, I'll put them out this afternoon so you can see the documents, that it was originally a 5-unit multifamily complex. And since then, every time she's refinanced it, she's labeled it as a 4 so she could take advantage of these federal programs. We need you to tag Pam Bondi. We need you to tag the DOJ. We need you to tag the FBI. Jeremy Harrell, LFA TV. Letitia James, you're guilty.
Jeremy Harrell, LFA TV. Please make sure y'all go follow and subscribe to my guy right here. I'm just ready to see the charging and arresting start to happen. Because in terms of the Democrats, we've seen over and over and over again them find loopholes that they claim that the Republicans are taking advantage of, and the sentiment becomes she'll get away with it. And I hate that. I don't want it to be that, but that's just what it's becoming. But you gotta love how she hangs herself with her own words. No one's above the law, right? And you aren't either. Please, y'all, be safe. Please go check on somebody today. Stay prayed up, because you could be saving their life.